how you doing?
DeForest, how are you?
Doing well. How's everybody doing?
We're good. Hey, going back to the trade, a lot of people, obviously, in Santa Clara were surprised. Were you also surprised? Can you kind of walk us through what happened?
I kind of knew about probably a week or so in advance, that it was, a possibility. You know what I mean? And yeah, it's just part of the business. They told us to, look at trade options, little things like that. So my agent did his job, and I ended up here in Indianapolis.
What are the things that you miss most about San Francisco? Go ahead, Matt.
Go ahead, Jen.
DeForest, what are some of the things you miss the most about being in San Francisco?
Obviously the fan base was great. I built a lot of great relationships there. I still have a lot of great relationships there. So, obviously the people there, that I became friends with. Obviously the convenience for my family. Obviously, being from Hawaii, it was just a plane flight away. My wife's family lived down the road in Fresno. That's where I pretty much call home in the off season. So, just a whole lot of things,
Hey, DeForest, what did this teach you about the business of professional football? It seems like, through your 4 seasons here, you did everything you possibly could with your play and your actions off the field, being a professional, to stay with the 49ers for a long, long time. But, apparently the 49ers believe you kind of outpriced yourself and maybe did those things too well. So how do you kind of look at that part of it?
Yeah, I look at that part of it. They really did teach me a lot about the business side of things. You know what I mean? Like you said, I felt like I did all the right things on and off the field. Obviously I wanted to be there long term. It was the team that drafted me, organization that drafted me and everything. And, when you drafted to an organization, your initial thoughts are, I want to be here until I retire. But, unfortunately, it didn't shake out that way. That's just the nature of the business. And, it's the things, that kind of sucks with the whole, salary cap situation. And, it is what it is. You know what I mean? I'm very happy at where I'm at. I found a great place here in Indianapolis. I was very fortunate that, this organization, which is a great organization, looked at my film and, saw what I could bring to the table and, appreciated me. So that made me feel really good.
DeForest, when you said you thought you did the right things on off the field, what did Kyle Shanahan tell you that you did wrong? What was that conversation like when he said they weren't going to keep you?
It was just a simple conversation, just like the way with, salary cap and, little things like that. Our conversation, it was just kind of it was a numbers thing. You know what I mean? Personally, when I had my conversation with John, we sat down and I told John, look, I know my agent's telling me, I'm worth this, but I'm able to meet in the middle, some way, somehow. I don't want to be here, but I didn't want to take, too big of a pay cut to where I know what I'm actually worth because, I had a baby on the way. I got to think of, my family. You know what I'm saying? When you're, it's like you doing your job. You deserve a pay raise or little things like that. You're not going to sell yourself short. You're not going to say, I'm going to just take the pay cut. So I was looking out for my family at the end of the day. And unfortunately, it just didn't go the way I wanted it to. And it's just, like I said, it's the nature of the business.
Were the 49ers receptive to meeting you in the middle? Were they willing to, have some wiggle room on their end of things as well?
There wasn't much wiggle room with what they were at, so that's why things ended up the way it ended up.
Did they ever offer you anything close to a 4-year, $84 million extension?
It
which is
A four-year, $80 million extension? $84 million extension? No.
Is it strange in a way to be watching 49ers film this week?
Say that again?
Is it strange at all to be watching 49ers film this week as an opponent?
Yeah, it's definitely, it's definitely weird to be on the other side. Watching film on, a lot of, obviously they got a bunch of new faces since I've been gone, but, a lot of similar faces on that side of the ball. A lot of guys that I call brothers and friends, and, it's weird, definitely. I know it's going to feel weird, once I get into, get to the stadium and get into the opponents, locker room and little things like that. It's definitely going to be kind of weird, but I'm excited.
What's been your observation of watching their offense operate with Trey Lance? I don't know if he's going to play or not, but he played last week, obviously, before the bye, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy because it's, a whole different offense. You kind of get that the Baltimore Ravens kind of vibe, when he's in there, running that swing option, little things like that, and, a lot more, obviously, quarterback design runs and little things like that, and he's elusive with his feet, and he can, hurt the defense with his legs. So, I mean, it's definitely two different offenses that we're going to have to prepare for, just in case, he ends up playing last minute.
Hey, DeForest,
you mentioned preparing for. Go ahead.
DeForest, obviously you still have really good relationships with the 49ers, I'm sure, throughout the organization, but is it just human nature that you wanted to, ever since the trade, not in a vindictive way maybe, but just to show them, you should have kept me. You shouldn't have traded me. That was a mistake.
Definitely, made me have a chip on my shoulder for sure, when I left. It lit a fire under me, you know what I'm saying? It made me want to prove, not to just them, but also to the Colts, you know what I mean? That, they're going to get a hell of a player when they signed me and everything, and it was really not really proving against them. I was just proving it to the Colts. This is why you paid me, and this is what I can bring to the table. From on the field, off the field, a leadership aspect, everything.
Of course, last year you were voted All-Pro, but you weren't in the Pro Bowl. Is there some sort of indication that you got the All-Pro nod without getting the Pro Bowl one?
Yeah, the Pro Bowl deal, I've been dealing with that shenanigans for a couple of years now. So, my main goal is really to get All Pro, and I got that, and obviously I want to get that as much as I can every year. And I play for those little, personal accolades. Those are great, but it's something that I strive to be one of the best and the top in my position on defensive players in the league, and I got to prove that year in and year out.
You also mentioned kind of changing your outlook because you had another child on the way. How is being a father to change how you've approached the business and your profession?
Yeah, everything I do, every day when I wake up and I'm making decisions, I'm basing it off of my family, my little ones. I want to be able to provide everything that, I never, really had as a child, or, or, put them in the best positions when they're older. And that's how I look at everything, life decisions, big decisions, generational decisions, you know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it. And, I'm not just playing for me, my wife anymore. I'm playing for, my little ones.
Before you and Eric are not still very close. Matt, you go ahead.
I might be asking the same question. DeForest, you'd been with Eric Armstead for so long. What's your relationship like now? Do you keep in touch? Are you following his game and kind of looking in on how he's doing?
No, yeah. Eric so far has done a hell of a year. But we keep in contact here and there throughout the year. Kind of let him do his thing, and he lets me do mine. And but we keep in touch. I'm very excited for the what he's been doing lately, and I'm very happy for him. And obviously, he has a little family that he started too, which I'm very proud of him. And he has a little baby and everything. And I mean, it's been nice watching him from afar.
Did the fact that part of the equation was he got his deal, did that ease sort of the pain of the trade at all, seeing him get his deal?
Oh yeah, definitely. I always, especially him being such a great friend, and seeing him get paid, and after what he's been able to do and produce, I mean, I was very happy for what he's done. I mean, like I said, he's setting up his family's future as well. I mean, and your second deal is usually the biggest deal that you sign in your career, and I mean, it comes and goes like that, man. And I was very happy for him.
DeForest, given your background, I'm sure you haven't experienced, well, maybe you have, but I don't think you'd experienced a real winter. How have you adjusted to Indianapolis and just the seasons, and is it not as bad as you perhaps expected?
Got more coats and hoodies in my closet, that's for sure. It's been last year was an adjustment for sure, you know what I mean? Obviously being from the islands and being on the West Coast the majority of my life, it was a little adjustment, but I mean, we're fortunate that we play in we have a closed stadium and we can open it at times when we want, and we have an indoor facility, so it hasn't been too bad.
DeForest, Jimmy Ward called you Jimmy Ward called you the heart and soul of the team earlier this week. I'm just curious, was that something that I know you were more of a lead by example type person, but was that a goal of yours? Like, were you actively trying to have that type of role within the locker room, or did it just kind of come naturally for you?
No, that wasn't my goal at all. I mean, I'm just I'm the type, like you said, I lead by example. I'll speak up when I had to, and I was just one of those guys that built relationships with everybody in the locker room. You know what I mean? And even like I said, I built a lot of great relationships. I mean, I knew guys from like Wayne and the custodian in the locker room to the owners to the Yorks. So I just built a lot of relationships and like with everyone. I mean, if we had a new guy and that came on the team, we signed halfway through the season or towards the end of the season, I always introduced myself. Just, you know what I mean, and little things like that, and obviously being in the community, when we had times with community service days and little things like that, and I mean, I never, my goal wasn't to be, I want to be the heart and soul of this team. It was just, I guess it just came by nature.
DeForest, do you have a similar role in the Colts locker room? Is that something that happened right away, or that you built over the last year?
Yeah, I feel like it was, especially just over the year last year, I was able to, I kind of find myself in the same role here, you know what I mean? And, my thing coming in was I wanted to gain the guys' respect, sometimes it could be like, we brought this guy in from another team, we paid him a lot of money, this is that, you know what I mean, what is he going to do for us, yada, yada, and, I didn't want to come in being a rah-rah guy, because I'm not that kind of guy, and I just wanted to show him, gain the respect, with my play, and obviously the way I treat, others around the office, and I kind of find myself, today in that same role I had back with the Niners.
DeForest, I'm sure you won't know until it happens, but what do you think your emotions will be like to be back in Levi Stadium and playing this team?
That is a great question, and I've been asking myself that question a lot. I'm the type of guy that wear my emotions on my sleeve, so we're going to see.
Jimmy Ward spoke to us on Monday saying, there probably could have been a way maybe to keep you in Santa Clara, and he cited the Rams saying, where do they get all this money from? They're able to keep them, pay all of their players. Do you kind of have that similar view?
Yeah, initially I was like, man, the Chiefs did it. You know what I'm saying? After winning the Super Bowl, Tampa Bay did it. Like Jimmy said, the Rams did it. Essentially, it's people put the effort to find a way, and then sometimes I mean, some guys don't, and you know, it just doesn't go your way. So, like I said, these are cards I was dealt. You know, honestly, this move, the trade, you know, for the past year and a half, I mean, I feel like I've grown. You know, I grew from that move. You know, it made me step out of my comfort zone in a lot of ways. It helped me grow as a man, as a player, as a teammate, as a father. You know, as a husband, and as a leader. And you know, that's stuff that in the moment when you told me, when it was official, when I got traded, the feelings that I was feeling. If you told me I was going to feel this way, a year and a half later, I would have said you're crazy. But I mean, everything happens for a reason, and the Lord put me here for a reason, and I'm very happy for the decisions that were made.
You guys good?
That's it.
Perfect. Thank you, guys.
DeForest.
Hey, thank you.
All right, y'all. Appreciate you guys.
Thanks, DeForest.
Probably see you guys a bunch on Sunday.
Thank you.